Hey, what's up you guys? It's Gard back with another video. And in today's video, we will be ranking the Big Ten basketball coaches from worst to best. Now, like the last few, we start at 14, we work our way up. And yeah, I really do enjoy making these videos. So please, if you liked it, at the end of the video, leave a like. So yeah, let's get into it. At number 14, we have Fred Hoiberg at Nebraska. Now, do I think he's the worst coach in the Big Ten? No. I do not. I think that Hoiberg is actually a very good head coach, but I think that, it was his first year at the pro in Nebraska, and I honestly don't think they should have fired the guy who was there before, because I actually did see some improvement in him, but they ended up firing him, and I think Hoiberg was a decent hire. Obviously we saw what he did at Iowa State, and he didn't do so well for the Chicago Bulls, but still. Hoiberg, he's a good head coach, and I think that Nebraska will be fine in the future. So, at number 13, we have another, I guess, kind of controversial. I don't even think you can call it. But at number 13, we have Chris Collins at Northwestern. Now, he finished 8-23 last year. But he did get him to their first NCAA tournament, I believe, in 2017, maybe 2016. I think it's 17. But, he has done well there, but he hasn't done great by any means. The team's first, NCAA tournament appearance he had for him, but ever since then, his recruiting classes have just gone downhill, and I don't really expect them to be contenders for Big Ten championship anytime soon. So yeah. At number 12, I have I guess you could kind of say controversial, but I don't really think you can. We have Archie Miller, Indiana. Now, Archie Miller is a weird one to me because he has so much talent on the floor, just like his the former coach there, Tom Crane. He has so much talent on the floor. I just don't know if he really knows what to do with it. He's arguably the best recruiter in the Big Ten. He's gotten, Romeo Langford 2018, Trace Jackson Davis the next year, and he has, what's his name, Christian Lander or something, coming in who reclassified this year. They have the best team they've had in a while, and if they do not make the NCAA tournament this year, I could see Archie Miller on a hot seat out of Indiana. But, still, they should make the tournament this year. But, yeah. At number 11, I have another one who I think will be a lot higher next year, Johan at Michigan. Now, obviously, he absolutely exceeded my expectations that I had for Michigan this year. They did really well, and Howard, I think he's a really good basketball coach. I actually think he could be better than John Beilein, just because their first two seasons, you compare them. I think Howard definitely had the better first season. So I'm really interested to see how he does. Obviously he had that one 5-star, I can't remember his name, who on the day that you commit, he decided to go to Arizona State. So yeah, but I think Juwan Howard at 11, I think he'll be a lot higher next year. At number 10, I have Pat Chambers at Penn State. It took this guy quite a while to develop, but he is actually one of the better head coaches. This year they finished 21-10. And I think they were in the top 9 for sure. And they kind of finished the season off really rocky after their win at Purdue. But I think Pat Chambers is a good head coach. I've been saying that for quite a while. I think that he's a winner, and I think that Penn State will be fine if they keep him, which I think they obviously will. At number 9, I have Steve Pikiell at Rutgers. Now again, it took this dude forever to finally have a winning season, and I expect Rutgers to be really high next year. They have Ron Harper Jr. returning. They have Geo Baker returning. And yeah, I just expect them to do really well next year, and I do expect them to finish probably top 6 in Big Ten next year play. So yeah, I think that is really realistic for them. So yeah, I have him at Steve Pikiell at number 9. Number 8, I have Richard Pitino in Minnesota. This guy, I think, is actually one of the better head coaches in the Big Ten. He's done really well at Minnesota. He made the tournament last year. I think they won as a 10 seed. And I just think he's a good head coach. Obviously, this year they had 15 and 16 weren't great, but again, he's a good recruiter. I think they're probably going to end up landing Chet. What's his last name? Chet Hoiberg or something. And he's like the number 2 recruit in the class of 21. So I expect them to be really good as well in the future. So Richard Pitino at 8. Number 7, I have Illinois' head coach Brad Underwood, who finished 21-10 last year. You know, it also took him some time to develop. I don't think they'll be as good this year because they're losing arguably their best player this year. That was Kofi. I don't remember his last name, Kofi something, but he was an absolute animal. But yeah, at 7, you know, Brad Underwood, he's a good coach, and you know I've been saying that for quite a while. But yeah, I think that's a good spot to put him at 7. Number 6, I have Chris Holman. One I probably maybe could have put higher, but I really don't think so. You know, he's a good head coach. He's done good things with Ohio State. Again, they were obviously going to make the tournament this year. And, you know, they started the season off, like, really high. I think they were up to number 1 in the rankings. But, you know, they started declining. But they got picked it back up in Big Ten season. So, yeah, he's a good head coach. And, yeah, I mean, Ohio State. At number 5, I have Gard at Wisconsin. Now, obviously, they even though they finished 21-10, they won the Big Ten last year, which was a surprise to me. And you know, they I think they might have shared it with Michigan State. Not thinking about it, but yeah, Gard, he's done great since taking over the program. I think in 2015 or 16, I believe. And yeah, he's done great things with Wisconsin, and they're projected to win the Big Ten again this year. I think they're returning basically the whole team. So yeah, expect Wisconsin to be really good again next year. At number 4, I have Fred McCafry at Iowa. This is one that I think is a pretty underrated coach, and you really don't see him top 25 coaches, but I actually do think he is one. He's done great at Iowa, and he is, yeah, I mean, they finished 20-11 last year. They had the best player in college basketball. He did get robbed. He should have been National Player of the Year. But they had Luka Garza, and if they return him, I think that they will be unstoppable. They also have good outside shooting, so yeah. Number 4, I have Iowa. At number 3, I have Mark Turgeon at Maryland. He's done great at Maryland. He's been there. I don't know how long he's been there, but yeah, he's done really well. I think it was Maryland, Michigan State, and Wisconsin. I think they all shared the Big Ten last year. I could be wrong, but I think that's it. But Maryland, they were really good. They're actually losing a lot, so I expect them to be on the lower end of the Big Ten this year. But again, Turgeon, really good coach, any way you look at it. And so, top 2. And number 2, I have Matt Painter at Purdue. Now, Matt Painter is, in my opinion, a top 25 basketball coach. He has done great ever since taking over Purdue in 2005. And obviously they had an off year. They finished 16-15. And, you know, we kind of lost our team after, I'd say after the Penn State game. We just didn't play good basketball. And I think Painter, and if you guys haven't heard Painter's rant about No Joe Eastern and Matt Harns, go watch it on Dan Dockage. It's great. But I think that they will pick up. I think Matt Painter will take Purdue to pretty. They're gonna be pretty good next year. Let's put it that way. And I expect them to finish top 7 in the Big Ten. And I think that Painter obviously is a top 25 coach. So yeah, at number 1, I have no question about number 1, Tom Izzo at Michigan State. Izzo has been there, forever. He's been there forever, and you know, only one national championship. It does not do him justice because he's been to so many Final Fours and he's had so many good teams. I personally think that if the season went on and they did play in the NCAA tournament, I think that Cassius Winston and Xavier Tillman would have won them another national championship, and I believe that. But again, Tom Izzo, great head coach. They finished 22-9 last year. He has so many accomplishments for that guy, and again, only one national championship does not do him justice at all. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please like this video if you want another ranking. Comment, but like, share, subscribe, do all that. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.